What's up, guys? First time doing this, might have technical difficulties. There's like a 20-second delay, so 1 sec. Let me post this in different places, in a few different places. Actually, oh, nice, you can hear me. All right, 1 sec. Where's the rake? I'll bring out the rake later. I'll bring out Farmer Taiki later. But okay, so in the first 10 to 15 minutes of this live stream, I'm just gonna go over like what my thoughts are in the market, what I've been farming, etc., and how I see the farming space, I guess, in June. And after, I'm not gonna look at the chat while I do this, but you can ask me questions after. And after I go over my thoughts, my portfolio, etc., then I'll answer those questions. So as you can see, my portfolio is now a lot cash heavy right now. So 34K in here, roughly 2/3 in cash. And you can see my Matic balance went down quite a significant bit. And I have also liquidated my entire Aave position. So if you know me from like my farming videos, you know that I farmed 10,000 Matic. And I think a week ago-ish, I took half of that and put it into Aave because the Aave token, because just to take profits on Matic, and the Aave token also gave me like 23% APR. So I said, you know what, like I might miss out on some upside, but the token I'm selling Matic for is going to generate APR of 23%. Like I didn't really see a big problem with that. But the market's really bad 2 days ago. So I just sold all my Aave and sold an additional half of my Matic, because right now, like this farming setup here, this Aave setup here is giving me roughly 10 Matic a day. So like even if Matic pumps from here, then I'm just like I'm accumulating like 300 Matic a month. So I feel comfortable just like sitting on this portfolio, because let's be real, like the markets do look pretty bearish. Like you can't look at this chart and tell me that like we're in a bull market, right? Like I'm not saying we're in like a prolonged bear market, but like look at this, right? Like this looks totally awful. So we have to at least entertain the possibility that we're in a bear market. It could be like a 2-month bear market. It could be a 4-month bear market, right? But we have to at least consider the possibility that we're gonna just chop here, right? Just chop here. And in that kind of environment, who's gonna outperform? Stablecoin farmers, right? Those people are gonna outperform. So I just wanted to raise some more cash and just farm with it. And I think whenever the markets like even go up like 3%, people on Twitter become super euphoric and whatnot. And this tweet by the cold-blooded shiller, I think explains it best. It's like, we just had a fat dump, like people are wrecked, like majority of us lost half of our net worths, and everyone's calling for like, oh yeah, it's a super cycle. Like, so always like the mistake I made was like I just full on believed in the super cycle. So even though I was thinking about selling around 60K, like Bitcoin and like my other alts, I just didn't do so just because I was too greedy. But like it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them. And for the rest of the market cycle, I'm gonna hold at least 10% cash in my portfolio and just farm with it, right? It could be 10% cash, 30% cash, whatever. Depending on the market, I'll just be holding stable coins to farm with. And right now, I think the best place to do that is on Matic, right, on Aave. Because you get paid to borrow here, right? And you also get paid a fuck ton to lend it out. So I just want to go over the 2 things that I've been farming in the past, let's say 2 weeks. So I mentioned that like when I farmed 10,000 Matic, like that the type of market environment we were in back then is completely different from the environment we're in right now. Because when I was farming 10,000 Matic, like Ethereum went from 3K to 4K in like a week, Matic went from like 20 cents to $2 in like a month, right? Like everyone was euphoric, everyone was risk on, and money was flowing everywhere. So I took advantage of that by getting into these degen yield farms and just like, farming and dumping. But, after people lose like half their net worth, I feel like the risk appetite is not there anymore. So right now I'm just focused on farming with stablecoins and accumulating coins to speculate on, right? Farming to accumulate. So I mentioned this in my past videos, but one thing I'm farming right now, or the thing I was farming a few days ago, was Chi. So I have like roughly 880 Chi. That's like worth 36 cents. So it's like not much, but this is like one of those things that I'm going to hold to 0 or a billion, just farming to accumulate. If you don't know what Chi DAO is, they're essentially a MakerDAO fork. Because with MakerDAO on the Ethereum layer, the Ethereum blockchain, you basically deposit Ethereum and borrow DAI against it, right? But with Chi DAO, it's a maker fork on the Matic ecosystem where you deposit Matic and borrow stablecoins against it. And you can borrow this for 0% interest. And in the future, they mentioned in their Telegram that they're going to support other altcoins such as Sushi and Chainlink. And I could totally see this thing going to maybe like $500 million market cap in like the best case scenario, maybe a billion, like a low likelihood, but maybe. I believe right now they're like a $5 million protocol. So I'm just farming this to accumulate. Like I said, I'm gonna ride this out to 0 or billion. Basically, like they charge 0% interest, but they charge you like a 0.5% for deposit fee, repayment fee, etc. I think it's interesting, and I'm just farming this. Yeah, let me just check the stream if it's working. Volume up, okay. I'll bring my mic closer. Okay, hopefully that's a lot better. Okay. Another thing I'm farming is Defy. Okay, so I've had this thing shilled in the comment section, like, what do you think about Defy? What do you think about Defy? And I looked into it, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I stopped farming Chi DAO, and now I'm just focusing all my farms on Defy. If you don't know what Defy is, they're a multi-chain DEX. So it seems to me like that they're trying to be something like a Rune, like a Thorchain. And from what I understand, Defy will allow you to trade assets cross-chain. So I can take whatever coin I have on Matic and swap it for something on Binance Smart Chain, on Avalanche, Phantom, etc. And let's see, and they have pretty good backing. Let's see. Yeah, they're backed by CMS, they're backed by Rarestone, and they're backed by all these guys. I don't think they raised that many dollars, but this raises like some confidence that okay, maybe there's something to this. And they're already a pretty healthily valued coin, roughly $3, circulating supply 250. So they're almost $1 billion protocol. So this isn't a coin that I'm farming to like hope for like an 100x. Maybe I'll farm a few hundred of these coins and have it like maybe 5x best case scenario. But as you can see, like my mentality is okay. I'm just like these projects look interesting. I'm not looking too far. I'm not like super doing a deep dive on like the fundamentals and like interviewing like the developers and whatnot. But they offer me decent farms, so I'm just farming with my stablecoins. And as you can see, what I'm doing is what might be pretty useful for some people because I'm using my collateral, right, which is mostly stablecoins. Well, it's like $23,000 stablecoins and 7,000 of Bitcoin. So my collateral is pretty stable, right? So that allows me to be more risky or like be more aggressive with my health factor. So I borrowed 8,000 DAI and 8,000 Tether, and I put it into this farm, which is earning me roughly 9 Defy a day. And they have a pretty aggressive like relocking schedule, where 25% of the Defy tokens can be claimed after farming ends, right? So it's 24 days, and the remaining rewards will be released 25% every 2 months. So let's see. Yeah, so this isn't like a farm that I'm like trying to get rich off of, but like this looks like a good token. They have a pretty good tokenomics, as in like they're not like they're allowing you to farm it, but they're not like allowing you to like farm and dump. So maybe like the token distribution will be relatively healthy, and who knows, maybe this can be a few billion-dollar protocol. I have no idea like what makes them better than Rune, for example, like cross-chain exchanges. But I do believe that in the future, we're not going to just live in a world of like the Ethereum blockchain. It'll be a multi-chain world, and in that type of world, maybe a project like Defy will accrue value. So I'll answer any questions after. But next, I want to go over what Arbitrum. So I've had a lot of questions asking me like, okay, Arbitrum mainnet open to developers like 2 days ago. Like, how is this going to affect Matic, right? And the short answer is I don't know, right? Like anyone that claims that they know what's going to happen is lying to you. Okay, so let's just start with that. And what's important is that the mainnet opened to developers on the 28th. So it's not like apps are going to go live immediately, right? It'll take time for these developers to put their code and put their apps on Arbitrum, test it, etc. I don't know how long it'll take. Maybe anyone, like if anyone's developer, just put it in the chat. But I mean, it's been 2 days, and like to my knowledge, like no application like have gone live. So I have no idea how long it'll take. But what makes me bullish, like uber bullish Arbitrum, is first they partnered with Etherscan. This is pretty important because anyone that uses Matic, like the Etherscan of Matic is called Matic Vigil, and the UI sucks. Like it's really hard to use. So though it's like really, really small, I do think this is bullish for the project. But the thing that makes me even more bullish, right? This is like the most bullish case for Arbitrum, is this guy, Pete Kim. He works at Coinbase, okay? And he built USDC, or like he was in that team, right? In the Coinbase wallet. So, he's an insider and he knows what's up. And he's very bullish ETH with his like ultrasound money meme. But he essentially made this post where he said, the beginning of something really exciting. And if you click here, it's Etherscan, right? And if you dig deep, if you view input as, I think this, he said, bringing millions of new people to the wonderful world of DeFi and Web3. So this guy works for Coinbase, right? And he's primarily working on USDC and the Coinbase wallet, right? And this is, I heard this is like related closely to Arbitrum. So what I'm speculating is that Coinbase is going to allow direct withdrawals to the Arbitrum layer 2, which is going to be uber bullish, right? Uber bullish. Because one of the major problems with Matic today is that there's no easy on-ramp. You can't have your funds on Coinbase and withdraw it to Matic, right? And you have to take it to ETH and then bridge it to Matic, which you have to pay gas fees. If you're on Binance Smart Chain, you have to use like Xpollinate or like these other random bridges. But if there's like a direct fiat on-ramp from Coinbase to Arbitrum mainnet, I think that's uber bullish. And if that happens, I think I'm going to transfer like the majority of my funds from Matic to Arbitrum, because I think if you think about like critical mass liquidity and like TVL like going to the moon, like this kind of stuff has to happen, right? Because Binance Smart Chain, it derived because people could take their money from Binance and put it directly to Binance Smart Chain. So if Coinbase can allow direct withdrawals to Arbitrum, imagine all the farms, right? Imagine all the farms. And it's speculated that Matic will, not Matic, but Arbitrum will have their own mainnet. Arbitrum will have their own coin. So maybe they'll do something similar to like what Aave is doing, where Arbitrum will pay you to borrow and lend, or pay you to provide liquidity. And if that happens, then I'll do that, because I'm not a Matic maxi, right? Like I'm not loyal to like any blockchain. I'm a yield maxi. I'm a yield farmer. I go where the yield is. So if Arbitrum allows the best yields, then I'll go over there. And I was gonna go over this video as well. I don't know if you can hear this. If not, I'm sorry, but this is Untitled Podcast. Talks about podcast between Kyle Samani, which is managing partner at Multicoin Capital, one of the best performing VCs out there, and Kane Warwick, the founder of Synthetics. So I'm just gonna play this. Hopefully you can hear it. If not, then you have to like watch this yourself. But one of the arguments against Arbitrum is that it doesn't really make fees that cheap. So let's listen to this here.
As the price of ETH USD goes up, Ethereum becomes more expensive to use. And like even Arbitrum and Optimism, I don't think will be cheap to use. They will obviously be cheaper, a lot cheaper than the ETH mainnet is now. But assuming there's no subsidies, I think there'll still be, $2, $3, $4, $5 transactions. Transactions are not going to be 1 penny or 2 pennies. Look, again, $2.
Yeah, so I don't know if you heard it there, but Kyle basically said that Arbitrum, it is a great scaling solution, and it's secured by the Ethereum blockchain, right? So it's more decentralized than Matic, which people care about. But the transaction fees aren't going to be like a penny or 2 pennies. It'll be $2, $3, $4, and depending on how big your wallet is, like even Arbitrum layer 2 might not be appealing to you, right? Because if you're like on the longer tail of retail where you're only playing with like a few $100, you just want to speculate, you just want to try it out, it's going to be really hard to farm and dump and like do yield farms when you have to pay $2 a transaction fee, right? The reason Matic is so good is because transaction fees are like near zero. And that allowed me to farm and dump, etc., and yield farm. And a lot of people like Messi, like I love Messi, but he says like Arbitrum is gonna be much better. And I said like Arbitrum will have relatively high gas fees, a few dollars, while Polygon has like a millionth of a penny fees, which is relevant for retail plebs like me. Ultimately, it depends on how quickly these layer 2s can onboard DeFi blue chips and operate without downtime. So if Arbitrum just onboards like basically if like Synthetics, Aave, SushiSwap, Uniswap, all these applications, they onboard to Arbitrum, and a bunch of good developers go to Arbitrum, and like a bunch of yield farms go there, then I'll have no trouble like moving my funds over. But I guess like this is like a long-winded answer of like, is Arbitrum bearish for Polygon? Perhaps. I don't know. That's one of the reasons that I sold some Matic positions, because I simply do not know. I do think that Ethereum needs all the scaling solutions it can get, because, I mean, come on, like ETH gas fees are ridiculous. And Polygon alone cannot fix the problem, Arbitrum alone cannot fix the problem, and Optimism alone cannot fix the problem. So I think what's going to end up happening after Arbitrum and Optimism launches is that all these layer 2s and all these side chains will have really high TVL, and there's going to be different yield opportunities, in many chains, and it's going to make it difficult for people like me that has to, scour all these yield opportunities and like have funds and bridge funds across all these chains. But I guess I'll have to do a lot more work in a few weeks or so. Okay, that being said, that's the majority of the content that I prepared for you guys. Let's go over some questions. All right. Hamza Khan, Hamza from Polygon, welcome. How can we improve the DeFi system here? Etherscan, can you please get rid of Matic Vigil and implement Etherscan or fork it? The majority of Polygon users come from Ethereum, and we love like the Etherscan experience. It's Matic Vigil. I mean, it works, but it's like I don't really know where to go. Like I can't like really revoke my permissions for smart contracts, and I think that's going to be one of the larger improvements. But overall, I think the Polygon team did a great job. Like the Matic supply faucet and like the Matic rewards, liquidity mining incentives, the $100 million DeFi fund. I think those are all great. And as long as you guys keep that up, then like I see no reason Matic can't keep its TVL. And hey, the video has 69 likes, nice. Polycat, yeah, Polycat is very, very impressive. So let's go to Polycat. So this caught me by surprise because this thing has been live for over a month, I believe, right? And Polycat already has like $175 million TVL. So they're like doing better than Poly Whale now. And I guess I'm a little salty because I was in this late April, and I was in the Telegram. I was like following their Twitter, and I wasn't really impressed. But obviously they figured something out, because when I left, like I broke even. I got my deposit fee back. I took it out when the fish token was like $13, and now it's trading at $39. So anyone that's been in Polycat for a month now is like uber rich. Like I don't know if like this will continue. Like I haven't looked into it too deeply, but yeah, maybe this is a new Poly Whale, and I think I read that, yeah, there's a maximum supply. Like, so I don't know, like, I don't know how it's going to work later, like in a few months. But Polycat's been really impressive, and I should do homework on that. Let's see. Polygon killed BSC for me. Yeah, I see a lot of people saying that, especially with like the exploits. And I think a lot of ETH maxis didn't like kind of laughed at Binance Smart Chain and played it off, but like it did steal a lot of the thunder that Ethereum had. And I think as Arbitrum, as like these real layer 2 solutions come in, like there's not going to be a point for Binance Smart Chain. I do think that there's going to be like at least 10 to $30 billion TVL on Binance Smart Chain, because it does have like Pancake is good. I heard Alpaca is good. I don't use Binance Smart Chain, so I can't really answer those questions, but yeah, what's the point of Binance Smart Chain if there's Polygon and real layer 2s? Sorry if you can hear my dog, and I live near a train station, so if you hear like a train, then that's one of the reasons. Yeah, Dbank works. Yeah, Dbank is a really good website. I use Dbank to revoke smart contract permissions, so I respect it as well. Okay, let's see. Lots of questions. Are you not worried that a stablecoin may fluctuate in price for a second and you get liquidated on Aave? Do you think it's likely to happen? I don't think so. I don't think it's likely to happen, but I am aware that DAI has gone off peg before, right? So one of the problems with borrowing DAI is, let's say I didn't have any DAI as collateral, right? So let's assume I only have USDC. Like I think DAI went to like $1.20, like sometime in 2020, and it liquidated a bunch of people, and people were pissed. So the one way I'm mitigating that risk is to have collateral in DAI and borrowing DAI. So even if DAI fluctuates in price, my collateral balance will also fluctuate in the same direction. So it'll lower the risk of me being liquidated. And Tether, I mean, there's so much Tether FUD, right? I mean, the market deems Tether as risky, right? That's why these yields are so high for Tether, because not that many people are using Tether. But I think they settled with the district attorney. They're listed on Coinbase. They're trying to be more transparent. And I think Tether is fine. Like, that's me personally, like, not financial advice, but those are my thoughts. That's how you can mitigate it, in my opinion. Let's see. Oh, God. Too many questions. Let's see. To start farming Matic, do you suggest pairing with USDC or Sushi as my first farm? I suggest using Aave, going to Curve. So deposit assets on Aave, borrow against it, and put it into Curve. That's like the most simple way. What you can also do is deposit on Aave, borrow against it, and provide liquidity on Sushi. But I always suggest use the DeFi blue chips first, right? So Aave, Aave, Curve, and Sushi. And once you're comfortable, like once you spend like a week farming using these like safer protocols, then you can expand out the risk curve. Because I mentioned like QiDao, I mentioned DeFi, they are higher risk than like Sushi. It just is, right? Because they're smaller projects. But I've been in DeFi for a few months now, so I feel comfortable enough. Let's see. Phantom Chain, yeah, I was looking at Phantom, but like their bridge was broken for like a week, which is kind of annoying. So I wasn't really interested in like. I do think that Matic still provides the best yields, like in terms of risk reward. So I'm just like focusing on Matic right now. But if Arbitrum, if like Avalanche, Phantom, Arbitrum, like they hit like crazy like TVL and like a bunch of farmers go on there, then like I'll move. Like I follow the yields, right? I'm a yield farmer. I follow where the yields are. What do you think is the best way to educate friends that are curious about DeFi? It depends like how knowledgeable they are. I think for anyone to appreciate DeFi, you should like people need to understand Bitcoin and why Bitcoin's important, and then it's like an easy transition to like why Ethereum is important, right? Like decentralized finance. I make some good videos like tutorials, right? I started making those tutorials. I think DeFi Dad is also good. He made a bunch of tutorials. And what chains farms, like if your friend's new, then I just recommend Matic because it allows people to like speculate with like not that much money. Harmony 1, same thoughts as Phantom. If there are good yields there, I'll go, but right now, I don't see it. Did I sell my Woo? I have not. I have it staked. Am I still DGen yield farming? No. Markets are risk off, so I'm farming safer farms. So right now I'm farming Defy, like I mentioned, this one. Yeah, I have 31 Defy. I think Defy's like $3, so yeah. And I was gonna go over this too, because like I go over this in every video, and like why Aave is important, but I have collateral here, right? Which is earning me a bunch of yield here, right? As you can see, I earn roughly 10 Matic a day. Great. I'm borrowing DAI and USDT, right? Which I'm being paid to do so. And with that, with that loan that I'm being paid to take, I'm farming Defy, which I think could be potentially a good asset in the long term, right? So if you think about it that way, it's just like yield farming free tokens with dollars. You are taking on risk, right? Because DeFi is, you're taking on the smart contract risk, but I trust Aave enough where I think like this yield farm opportunity is very, very good. Let's see. Oh God. I watched your video on impermanent loss. How important is that when looking at pools? I think it is important. It depends, right? Because let's say you like buy a shitcoin, right? And it's like 10 cents and it goes up like 1000x, right? And if you LP for that position with USDC, right? If the shitcoin goes up a lot, then the LP is going to sell your shitcoin and buy more your stable coins with it. And so you're going to tremendously outperform. So you are tremendously going to underperform just holding the tokens all together. So with impermanent loss, like I think people should like almost never provide liquidity for like super tiny tokens, because if the token moons, then you just get wrecked. I mean, you still make money, but like you just underperform and you feel like shit. Yeah, I'll make a video on debank. I think it's important. I already have a video on like how to revoke smart contract permissions, but I think given how fast my channel grew, I should make a video again. Let's see. I stake Woo on WooX. I have a Veda invite. Okay. Have I researched Bondbridge? No, but I do think I think it's interesting, and I think if institutional money flows in, then Bondbridge like tranches, right? Could be good. Do I still like Rook? Yes. I'm holding Rook for the long term. Price action has been garbage. I'm in lots of pain, but it's all good. What's the minimum amount of dollars you recommend to start yield farming? I think like $500, $1,000 is enough. Even $100. The problem is bridging it. Like bridging it to Matic is really difficult. That's why the Arbitrum news, right, of like potentially allowing direct withdrawals from Coinbase to Arbitrum is huge. If that happens, then Arbitrum is going to be lit. So is Optimism. How do you transfer from Poly to Fiat to buy goods and services? Well, I mean, you have to bridge it back to Binance Smart Chain or bridge it back to ETH and then like bring it to a centralized exchange. If I have a non-stablecoin asset, what health factor would you target? I mean, it depends, right? If your collateral is like Matic or Aave, which is like really, really volatile, then maybe like a health factor of 2 to 3, 3 to 4 is good. I don't know because I focus on stable, mostly stable collateral. Like my collateral is mostly Bitcoin and stablecoins. So like, I can be pretty aggressive with my health factor. And if I'm aggressive with my health factor, which means I can borrow more dollars against it, which means I can farm more coins with it, right? So defense. So let's see. I don't know what Smelly Cat is. Is it too late to farm on Polycat? I don't know. It looks like it's a sustainable yield farm. Like it's not gonna make you like a fuck ton of money, but like if you want to park your assets for like 2 weeks and farm with it, then I think Polycat is a safer farm than like whatever like new degen yield farms out there. But like I said, like I'm not focusing on degen yield farms right now because, I mean, I guess Polycat's not really a degen yield farm because it seems like it's sustainable, but I'm just focusing on like farming to accumulate assets. So like QiDao, like Defy. What was the name of the guy that worked at Coinbase and on USDC? It's this guy, Pete J. Kim. That's his handle. Let's see. I'm always wary when like people just like spam these like random projects in the comment section. It's like one of the first projects that like spammed me in the comment section was like Polylion, right? Like these guys were like spamming my channel in the comment section, like check out Polylion, check out Polylion. And I checked it out and it was complete trash. Like I called it out in one of my videos. And now people are shilling Smelly Cat. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done the research, but maybe it's not. I don't like. It just feels weird when people like spam these things. And there's always a guy in the comment section that show hex, right? Like you can show hex all you want, but I'm not gonna talk about it. How much did I start with on Polygon to reach 34K? I started with I think 17 or 20K in late April. You can look back to like one of my first videos. I think I show it. Yeah, so if you think about it, like stablecoin yield farming, like, so let's say I started with $20,000, like I'm up 70%, like right in the past month, which is like in a really bearish environment. So stablecoin farming is like severely outperforming the market right now. Don't get me wrong. This is not my like this is like not my entire portfolio. I have other coins. I have Bitcoin. I have ETH. I have Chainlink, and I have all these coins that I hold in other exchanges and other in like my wallet and all that. And I'm feeling the pain, right? So like I think everyone is feeling the pain. Like maybe like there's like one influencer out there that's like saying, "Oh, I sold the top and now I'm buying the bottom," but I think they're mostly full of shit. Is Arbitrum fees going to be cheap? It's going to be like $2, $3, $4. It's cheap if you have lots of money, but depending on how much you're playing with, not so cheap. Any insurance you recommend? I think Nexus Mutual. I think Nexus Mutual is an interesting project because if the argument for crypto being bullish is institutional money coming to the space, those institutions are going to want like insurance, right? So I think Nexus Mutual might be something that's undervalued. I don't own anything though. How is it possible that Polycat still gives like crazy APRs? It's just because people are depositing. If more people deposit, then APRs can remain consistent because these projects, they take a 4% deposit fee. 3% of that usually gets used to buy back and burn. So as long as more people keep depositing, these yield farms will become sustainable. And it's almost impossible to, I guess, like differentiate like a good farm from a bad farm, like from the beginning. You can check their docs, you can check their Telegram and see how active the Telegram group is, how well written the documentation is. Like Polylion, which is like one of the projects that like I kind of shat on, like, horrible documentation, tokenomics were awful. Polycat, I looked into the docs like briefly. It looked legit, and their Telegram is like popping, and it seems like their team is like actually using like their marketing funds to like spend on marketing, and like those are signs that you want to see when you're entering a farm for the longer term. Other than Matic, what else are you bullish on and holding? Bitcoin, ETH, Chainlink, WooTrade, Keeper DAO. I don't like holding too many assets. I just like focusing on like my portfolio theory is like I want to hold less than 10 assets and just like follow them closely. Because if you follow like 30 coins and like how are you gonna like find good exit strategies? Like we don't have like infinite time to like track all these things. Hex is a Ponzi, and maybe it is. Like I'm not gonna say anything bad about Hex, but like my videos always have like 3 types of shills, right? It's like Hex shills, like random like yield farm shills, right? I think people just like want to spam my comment section to market their project on my comment section, and like Cardano. Like there's always people that ask me for Cardano advice, and like, dude, they don't have smart contracts. Once they have, okay, I'm not like anti Cardano. If they release smart contracts and their blockchain looks good, then I'll look into it, but not interested. How were you able to borrow 50% without getting liquidated in the nasty dip a few days ago? Like, yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah, that was really scary because I slept when the risk factor was, or the health factor was at 1.75 or something, 1.7. And I had a friend who got liquidated, and his health factor was 1.6. So I'm pretty sure that while I was asleep, my health factor hit like 1.05 or something. But granted, like, I didn't know what his collateral was. Like, I always make sure that like majority of my collateral is Bitcoin and stablecoins, right? So like with this, like Bitcoin would have to dip like 80% for me to be liquidated. Like, so I don't really worry about being liquidated unless there's like a black swan event. Okay, one sec. Too many questions. Can you show us your portfolio? Well, you're seeing it, and I hold Bitcoin, ETH, Chainlink, Trade, and Keeper DAO. So, do you use Bancor? I use Bancor to stake Rook. I used to hold Bancor tokens, but I sold it for dollars, just a stable farm. But I do like Bancor, and I think Bancor is one of those apps that's going to deploy Arbitrum first, and I'm relatively bullish. Oh god, okay. Can you use USDT as collateral in Aave? No, you cannot, unfortunately. I think at some point you will be able to, but yeah. Have you ever considered launching your own farm? No. Like, I'm not, like, I didn't create this channel to, like, make money, like, launching my own farm or, like, launching my own coin. Like, I still don't even run ads. I don't really know what I want to do with this channel. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with the channel, because right now I make yield farm videos. I'm gonna start interviewing some people in the crypto space. One of the people I'm trying to interview is Rookog. I'll interview him. Maybe I can interview more people, but yeah. I made 100x in Hex, and I'll be the first to tell you it is absolute trash cult. All right, cool. How do you long Arbitrum? You can't. They don't have a token. Do you think ETH will flip Bitcoin? I don't think so. I think it could. There's a possibility. There's a chance. Like, I'm not those Bitcoin maxis that say like there's a 0% chance. Obviously, like, it's going to be hard for ETH to flip Bitcoin because, yeah, for many factors. But I hold both, so like no matter what happens, like I'm fine. And the majority of my portfolio, the top 3 positions in my portfolio is Bitcoin, ETH, and cash. So we're in a bearish environment. Even if like Bitcoin dumps another 30%, I'm relatively protected to the downside, because if you hold altcoins and Bitcoin dumps, you just get wrecked, right? You just get absolutely wrecked. You have a great voice for a podcast. Thank you, I guess. Hey bro, sent you an email involving an IDO sponsored by 1inch in Japan. Hope you read it. Thanks. Fuck off. I don't do these fucking bullshit pre-sales. Interview Vitalik. Let's see. Can you use Mist to yield farm? You can deposit Mist. You can LP for Mist Ethereum and then deposit it in the Crucible and earn more Mist, but not really interested in Mist right now. Yeah, they say DeFi will not work so well in a bear market due to less demand for leverage. Yeah, so that's one of the things I want to go over, because if you think about like why these stablecoin yields are so high, I mean 3%, like 2% on USDC, 3% on DAI might not seem high, but compared to like the traditional banking system, it's very, very high. Because in my bank account, I earn like 0.005%. Complete bullshit. And the reason these deposit APYs are high is because there's demand to leverage, right? Because when you deposit dollars to Aave, you're lending it out to people, right? So that's why you can earn those 2% yields. So and the only reason these these borrow APYs are so high is because people want to put Bitcoin on Aave, take out dollars against it, and like buy more Bitcoin or like take on leverage, right? So if we enter like a brutal bear market, these borrow APYs should go down. And if these borrow APYs go down, then these deposit APYs will also go down. And crypto yields are very, very reflexive because most crypto projects, they pay their yield in their native token, right? And so when they do that, they can they can use that for marketing. Like look at my 10,000% APY yield farm or like project, right? But if the token price goes down, then those yields also go down. Similarly, a lot of people talk about like these DeFi TVLs, right? And like, oh, check out this project, it has super high TVL. But like most of the TVL is like denominated in Bitcoin and ETH, right? So if the price of Bitcoin or ETH goes down, then the TVL also goes down. And when the TVL goes down, then people start selling the project and the token price goes down. And when the token price goes down, then the yields go down. And then when the yields go down, more TVL like exits the project. So it's very, very reflexive. It's like this, it's like this staircase of yield and like TVL. It's like, yeah, it's like a staircase of like crazy yield games. So in a bear market, I don't think DeFi will do that great, but that's also going to be like a great opportunity because you can scoop up all these coins for cheap. Because if you're watching my channel, like you most likely believe that like crypto is going to be the future of finance in some way. Bitcoin will replace gold. Ethereum will like replace like some financial infrastructure in the current system, etc. And nothing has changed. Like the price might change, but the fundamentals haven't changed. So, okay, hold on. I went on a rant, so I have so many questions. Fuck. Okay. Okay. Can I make a video on bridging? I feel like there's so many videos about bridging on YouTube, so like I don't really see a reason why I would make that. Because if you look up like how to bridge to Matic, I saw like 10 videos that popped up, and it's like all these YouTubers that's like making those like crazy faces. It's like I don't want to compete with those folks. Like I don't know if I can beat them. How do I get wind of new yield farm opportunities? So you can use this website called vfat.tools. Go to Polygon and like check out these farms. I also always recommend this Rug Doctor, like rugdoc.io. So I'm looking at like the Polygon farms and like they list all these farms and like the risk factor. I don't know what this is, but Polyhawk has a 4-star rating or like 4 green balls rating, like whatever that means. All right, let's go over this, right? Let's just audit this farm. Okay, I know nothing about this. Okay, it's fucking dead. It is dead, and the token is 2.5 cents. Okay, so it looks like it's dead. Is there a different farm? How about Polybear? Is this fine? Is this good? Okay, yeah, these are also dead. So you see how these tokens, it's like 2 cents. Like you don't want to buy these farm tokens. Don't buy these farm tokens, right? Obviously, Polycat. Okay, let's take a look at Polycat. I'll take a look at Polycat. I like read this before, but we'll see how, like what makes them special. Because what they do isn't like that particularly special. Because if you look at the fish token and the tokenomics, so essentially, so they take a 4% deposit fee, 75% of that, so like 3% of that, goes to the burning vault and the burning fee and whatnot, and 25% goes to marketing and development. Depending on a team, they might not spend any dollars on marketing, but Polycat obviously like takes these marketing funds and reinvests it, which is like good to know. And I think, one sec. Actually, yeah, I'm not gonna go over this right now. It's too much. My brain hurts. I'm smooth-brained, alright? I'm a smooth-brained individual. If you have $100, use Aave or use Curve. Like I don't think there's not much you can do. Do you think there will be opportunities to farm on Solana? I think so. Right now I don't really see too many opportunities. The problem with Solana is that so Ethereum, it uses Solidity as like the programming language, and Matic and Arbitrum and Binance Smart Chain, they're EVMs, or Ethereum virtual machines, meaning that anyone can just take whatever code that exists on Ethereum, port it over to Binance Smart Chain and deploy that contract, right? Or deploy that code, right? So it's really easy to like duplicate projects and whatnot. But with Solana, the programming language is Rust. So it's different. So they're going to have to onboard a bunch of new developers to build brand new projects. I do think those projects will be good. I am long-term bullish Solana, but I do think it'll take some time for those applications to like go live and whatnot. Okay, I see this comment. The market cap's really what matters, not the price. All right, that is wrong. Okay, so let's see. Let's choose. I don't know. Let's go to Polycrab. Oh shoot. Can't type. Okay, hold on. It's not out here. Yeah, let's go to Polycrab, right? Okay. What the fuck? Okay, and this website's broken. Dude, what the hell? See, I'm telling you, like these new yield farms, like the quality of these yield farms are like so bad. That's why I don't really want to partake in them. Okay, so for example, Polybear, market cap, $30,000, right? Like, oh my god, it's so cheap. Holy shit. Like, if it 10x's, it's 300,000. Oh my god, right? But you also have to consider the fact that the token supply is infinite, right? They're minting new tokens every single day, right? Every single day. So let's say, okay, so let's simplify. Circulating supply, let's say it's 1 million like tokens supplied right now, right? 1 million tokens circulating in supply, right? And let's say it doubles in like tomorrow, like hypothetically, right? There's $2 million circulating supply. Then even if the price of the token goes in half, it'll still be the same market cap, right? Because this is just math, like 1 million times 2 cents is, or 1.3 million times 0.023 is 30,000 market cap, but 2.6 times 0.0115 will also be $30,000. So the market cap is irrelevant. Does that make sense? It's just math. I'm Asian, so I'm good at math. Let's see. How much can I make if I put $1,000 on Aave and have 50 IQ? You can make a lot actually, because you don't have to have high IQ. Like literally, like if all you can do with your limited IQ is to just find out like how to deposit into USDC, or even Aave. Like let's say you can only like figure out how to deposit USDT, you can earn like 13% APR. So if you deposit $1,000, if you check back a year from now, you'll have $130 extra, right? Even if you're 5 IQ, you can do that. So Aave is very friendly to all IQ people. How do you feel about Cardano? Like literally, everyone asks me about Cardano. I don't get it. I don't understand how they have this crazy following. Yeah, Rust is a way more popular language, so more potential devs. Yeah, that's another bullish case for Solana. But it just means you have to wait longer, right? Because you have to attract developers to build on it, and it'll take time for developers to build on it. So maybe it's like a 2023, like in like 2 years, Solana's like top 5 coin, right? I don't know, but it's like a longer term token is like what I'm trying to say. When do you sell your tokens from farming? Immediately, usually. But it depends on the farm. Like with Defin and Cheetah, I'm just farming to accumulate, but most of these farms, I just farm and dump. how can you get liquidated on stablecoins? You can't really. You can only be liquidated if like it goes off a peg, right? So right now you see this, right? So let's say the price of USDT goes to $10 or something, right? Like some black swan event, like Tether is fucked, like all the fudders were right, Tether FUDs, like they were right, and it goes to $10, right? Then my collateral, which is 34,000, but then I'm borrowing like $94,000 worth of like assets, right? Then it's gonna it's gonna liquidate my entire portfolio, or it'll liquidate my entire collateral because my loan to value is way too high. If that happens, I get liquidated, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Not financial advice. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up in like 10 minutes. We've been live for an hour. I'll answer a few more questions. Would you like to come to my dark dungeon to have a friendly discussion about Hex and Cardano? You sound like Charles Hoskinson now. I'm like, no, thank you. That sounds kind of scary. Am I using Curve right now? No, I'm farming Defin. I don't. Feel free to rewind earlier, but like I'm farming this Defin. It's like a cross-chain decks. Pretty cool. Like it'll take me a long time for me to like actually sell these things, like, if I want to sell them, but like in like 24 days I can claim 25% of my Defin, and then the remaining will be released 25% every 2 months. So in 6 months I'll have all my tokens, but who knows? I think there's potential, so I'm just farming it. Okay. Do you see yourself using Thorchain? Yes, one day. Not now though. No, I'm not gonna make my own farm. How much did I make via yield farming? I think I started with like 20K, so I made 14K yield farming, roughly, in a month. But I got lucky. Like I farmed Matic. I farmed 10,000 Matic like when the price was like 70 cents or 60 cents, and it's just like pumped. All right, this guy's spamming the channel. How do I ban this guy? All right, this is my first ban. Or I'll just time him out. Damn, I feel so powerful. I just timed him out. So much power. Why not use BlockFi or Celsius? I mean, I could. I mean, I do use them, but DeFi is more fun. And there's a lot more flexibility when it comes to DeFi. Let's see. When did I start in crypto? Good question. I bought my first ever Bitcoin in June of last year because like when the COVID March crash happened in 2020, I bought the dip, right, in stocks, and I expected to make my money back in like 3 years, right? I didn't really know much about finance. And then there was a V-shaped recovery, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why is this happening? And then I learned about money printing, like central banks, like Federal Reserves, etc. So I bought Bitcoin. I was like a Bitcoin maxi for like all of 2020. And then January of this year, I started like looking into DeFi. So I'm still pretty new into DeFi. I've only like been studying DeFi for like 5 months. So if you think I'm like really knowledgeable, then like if I can do it, then so can you. You just have to like spend more time. So I looked into DeFi in January. I've been like spending so much time like studying this entire space, and I think I found my niche, which is yield farming. I think I'm pretty good at it, so I'm just like making videos on it, trying to educate people. And I used to be a Bitcoin maxi, but now like I'm more open to the possibility that Ethereum could flip Bitcoin. I think there's a chance, but this cycle, I do think like Bitcoin is like a pretty safe bet. Like I still think Bitcoin is gonna hit 6 figures at some point, maybe later this year, maybe next year, who knows? But I think Bitcoin is one of the best investments in the world, like in terms of risk reward. let's see. What project in Solana are you bullish? I'm bullish Oxygen. Oxygen, I think, is going to be like a Nave on Solana. I mean, I'm also bullish Cope. But those tokens look god awful, so I'm more focused on like Ethereum-based DeFi. Am I using my finance? Not really. I just have cheat tokens. Any reason I don't hold Aave? I sold my Aave for stablecoins because I just want to protect my downside. I mean, I know what yield aggregators are. I just don't use them because I just like having the flexibility to like decide where I put my yields or where I put my dollars. Okay, let's see. A few more questions. I'm gonna wrap it up. Not real estate. Yeah, I'm too poor. Do I ever swing trade? I do. I'm not really a trader. I'm more of like a farmer. I just like hold projects for long term. Like one of my most successful trades is like Visor. Like I sold the sushi around 20, bought Visor at 1, sold it at 3, and bought more Rook with it. But my Rook position's getting wrecked, so I guess I'm not that good of a trader. Okay, I'm just gonna call it quits now because people are spamming me Cardano questions and it's I don't want to deal with this shit. All right, guys. Well, it's been a good stream. This is my first ever live stream, so apologies if my audio wasn't that great. If I had technical difficulties, I'll get better over time. I'll try to do this once a week or something. Seems like people enjoy it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you want. Like what kind of content you want to see, because like my channel blew up in like the last month, right? So I have no idea what people want to see. Like I'm making all these different videos about tutorials and like these like different alpha leaks, I guess, but I'm still not sure. So it'll like I'm always open to feedback. So yeah. All right, thanks guys. Have a good weekend.